You know, the movie Hidden is a lot like I Am Legend, only wider. Hidden, I'm going to tell you right off, is one I actually liked. It's, whoa, Allison, one you actually liked? Yes, one I actually liked. I give it 4 stars. 1 for participation, 2 for a decent script, 3 for good acting, and 4 because it actually scared me. Now, there were moments of tension in Hidden that weren't present in I Am Legend. So, let's start at the beginning. But first, I'd like to give it its special award. The I Actually Put My Phone Down and Paid Attention award. It starts out with a little girl waking up her mom, and saying her doll, Olivia, had a bad dream. And this little girl is called Zozo by her mom a lot, and she just wants to be called Zoe. She doesn't want to be called Zozo, she wants to be Zoe. So, they have a little talk, and the dad and the mom try and get the kid to understand that they're okay, they're hidden. The breathers, as they call them, are not going to come and get them. They're all good. Her dad, in a very corny way, tells her what happened on his late night watch. I guess the dad doesn't get any sleep at all. And through some dorky scene where they talk about math, they deduce that they've been there 301 days. Now, it takes a few minutes setting up the scene and of the family, and the daughter says she wants peaches. They're all living on canned food underneath a very not so trustworthy bunker. And the daughter wants some peaches, and the dad wants some peaches. So they put a vote again, 2-1, mom wanting beans, and the dad and the daughter wanting peaches. They go to find the peaches, and the daughter, who's young enough to believe her doll has bad dreams, says somebody stole the peaches. The cans of peaches have bite marks in them, or something chewed a hole through the cans and ate the peaches. Now, later on, they're talking about miracle beans and how it was a miracle that they found that place, and it goes back and forth like I Am Legend did, but unlike I Am Legend, there's different scenes. There's not just that one night. There's an evolving, it might be one day, but it's sort of an evolving, moving story. You already know that the guy on I Am Legend is going to lose his daughter and his wife. You just know it because of the way he always looks so sad after it cuts back to the one thing. They have the first vision, and like I said, similar to I Am Legend, some scientists were doing some experiments, and everything went wrong, and the disease spread, and now all these people are becoming superhuman killing machines. And they do look similar to the monsters on I Am Legend. But it's different in a way with its plot twists that it really should have more attention than it does. So the next day they're talking about miracle beans and what the rules are, and she sees the giant rat that's been eating all their food, and they make it seem like they've had to kill rodents who had been eating all their food before. So in all this excitement of killing the rat, the lantern they use to heat up their beans gets knocked over and sets the table on fire. And since it's an old rickety table and an old rickety bomb shelter. It creates a fire and it burns a hole in the roof. They put the fire out, and the dad and the daughter are trying to tell the mom that it's all okay. And then the mom says, but wait, there's ash. And so they get up in their periscope and they see indeed there is ash. So they go and they decide to break rule number 2 and go out on the surface. Zoe and her doll, she says her doll convinces her to look up through the periscope. She looks up through the periscope and it doesn't really show anything. You're sitting there and you're like, wait, and you rewind it a couple times. It shows it again, but it doesn't really see anything. And that could lead you believe that it's the paranoia of the post-apocalyptic world, and like zombies or superhuman killing machines could be everywhere. And she goes up, no shoes, running after her parents, and it's a bunch of deer. And then they deduce something's got them spooked. They go back and down in, and the mom almost gets caught by one of the superhuman killing machines. And then she gets pulled back in, and they board up all the holes, but they missed one. And the weird mutant humans get in and they take Dad. Mom and Zoe escape and they start running, and like I Am Legend, there is a part with a plastic human-like creature that creates tension, and this weird sort of only would happen in, like, if it was a child or a person in a post-apocalyptic situation. You know how Will Smith's character in I Am Legend is wondering what the hell Fred is doing out there when, goddammit, Fred, you're supposed to be at Blockbuster? As they're going to leave, after he's already got them all calmed down and they're trying to be quiet, the girl's doll is one of those dolls where you can pull a cord and it says a couple phrases. The cord gets hooked on a nail and provides one of the more high tension pieces of the film that it was just like, oh God. And so it gets caught, and then there's this scene that's like very emotional, that the dad has to take the doll out of the girl's hands and violently rip it to pieces and rip the battery out, and the mom has to cover the girl's mouth because this doll is her only friend. And it's really just actually very well written and a pretty good scene, because usually they'll run, they'll take the doll and they'll run, or they'll leave the doll behind, but this time they decided to do something different. Now, they were chased back away from the hole that they used to get up and get to the surface, because they're kind of like sitting ducks down there. And in the pantry, they found the weird superhuman, so they threw another lantern they must have had at the thing and burned them out. And so they stacked up some chairs and stuff to get up through the periscope hole, but Dad didn't make it. Dad fights off this superhuman breather as best as he can, and he gets free, only for Mom and daughter to get caught by the Navy and Dad, or the Army, or some sort of government organization, and Dad to get shot by the Army. Dad's superhuman everything comes in and saves them from being the way they are, and then Zoe is taken over by the superhuman virus, and you think, she's been exposed, she's in a lot of trouble, she's gonna just die, this is not right. Her mom comes, she calls her Zoe instead of Zozo, which is what Zoe's been asking for the whole movie. And then she says, you can control it. Remember, rule number 1 or rule number 3, I can't remember which one. And Zoe goes back to being human. Which is probably what made these people adept at surviving, is that they realized they could control the evil within. Now, it's not very descriptive on what the scientists were doing, and I don't think that it really matters because it shows that as they were going to the shelter, these people were turning around and going back, and they didn't understand it. So foolishly, they plugged away and carried on, hoping to get into the shelter that all these other people were selected to get into. Nope. Government came through and bombed that town. So this bombed town, this school that's blown up, it's not a worldwide thing. It's this small area, like when they put a dome over Springfield. Whereas in I Am Legend, it's New York, it's San Francisco, it's the world. Anyway, they get free. They get free from the military guys, and unfortunately, Dad dies, but he dies a hero. And in one of the memories, and like I said, these flashbacks served a purpose. In one of the flashbacks, there's this kid that lives next door to Zoe and her parents, and they're going to go play Marco Polo over the weekend. And they're going back. They went back, or they found another bunker, and the kid goes Marco, and then Zoe goes Polo, and then this kid and his parents and a couple of the other neighbors lead them to another safe place, another bunker. And it ends with Zoe looking at the sun coming up and says, "Hey, Mommy, the sun. There's day 302. Pretty good, right? I liked the acting. I liked the characters. I liked they made it look real. Like, I hate when it's the end of the world. Like, I hated that it was the end of the world in I Am Legend, and he could still take a shower and watch TV and stuff. In the real end, and I liked that it was just a small portion of the world. It wasn't the whole world. It was just this tiny little town. Do I like it better than I Am Legend? I'm not sure. Both of them are very good in a way that they portray what it's actually like at the end of the world. And I hate these end of the world things where it's just survive, survive, survive. But Hidden gets points for me because it got right to it. They had to get up to the surface. They just had to. There was a fire. They gave us like 10 minutes of relating to the characters, and then they just didn't want to be screwing around with the rest of that. So, I strongly recommend Hidden. It's got Alexander Skarsgård in it, and he actually shows more than one facial expression in this movie. And the characters, you can see from the flashbacks to underground bunker that they are, they've changed. You can see how they've changed. Zoe went from no cares in the world to being worried all the time. Mom went from it's okay, Zoe, to I'm sorry, Zoe, it's not okay. And Dad went from hyper worried to pulling Zoe aside and telling her to close her eyes and imagine she's back in her room at home. So, they got the I actually put my phone down and paid attention award and 4 stars. Don't worry, there will be more like these that I actually enjoy. I don't know what I'm going to do next. If you want to throw me well, actually, one of my friends, Debbie, already threw me a suggestion, so I'll do that one next. If you want to throw me a suggestion, go right ahead. I will watch it if I haven't seen it. I got Netflix now, and I will let you know.